Ideally, I need to read 5 books this week, and I have had 6 3-star reads in a row. My mum used to swear by Germaline. No matter what was wrong with you, you put Germaline on and some talc over the top so it's not sticky. It's 11:02 p.m. and I am on the verge of an NTB. Good morning, my guys. As you can see, it is a very good morning in the UK today. It is gloriously sunny. I am out in the garden. It is blissfully quiet, which is unusual around here. And I am excited to get some reading done. I really need to. Ideally, I need to read 5 books this week, and I'm only going to be talking to you guys about one of them. Hopefully by the time you see this vlog, you will have already seen my thoughts on the other 4, which I am of course reading for Shelve It or Scrap It. I am overwhelmed with literature right now. It's fine though, I've done this to myself and I have to accept the consequences of my actions. So we're going to try and knuckle down, which as you know for me is difficult. I surprisingly have quite a short attention span, and I hope that especially for today, being out in the garden and reading is going to help me with concentration, because I feel like if I'm in a bit of a different environment, even if that is just a different room and it's peaceful, I'm away from like my work stuff and also like other distractions, then I'm hoping that I can focus a little bit. And actually I spent a lot of my childhood, right up until I moved from my dad's, really, I spent hours and hours and hours reading in the garden. So it is quite a naturally calming reading environment for me, providing of course it is quiet, which it is right now. I can hear the birds and it's like, you wouldn't think I live right by a main road. It's so peaceful and I'm here to enjoy it. So the book that we're going to be talking about in this vlog is of course going to be Ruin by John Gwynne, which I have heard is aptly named and that it is going to ruin me, which am I ready for? I'm not sure. I'm definitely ready for a 5-star. I'm not saying that this is. I'm anticipating a 4 or 5, but who knows? But I'm ready to enjoy something, because honestly, I've had a 5-star at the very beginning of April, like the 1st of April, I finished a 5-star read, which isn't too bad for me actually. That's not too long ago, but the issue that I'm having is that I don't think I've had any 4-star reads. So I'm actually like desperate to enjoy something. This one is of course the 3rd book in the Faithful and the Fallen, and it is the current book that I need to read for Catch Up Book Club. So from the date of me recording this, when you see this, the live show will have already happened. It is up on Booked and Busy, Aaron from Booked and Busy's channel, if you want to go check it out and hear everybody's thoughts. But for me right now, I have a week, less than a week technically, because the live show for this is on Sunday evening, to get through this 750 page book alongside 4 others. So it is going to be a challenge, but we are going to do our best. And the Faithful and the Fallen series is an epic fantasy series that takes a lot of inspiration from like Celtic and Norse mythology. The main bulk of the plot is surrounding a prophecy that says that the avatar for light and the avatar for dark are going to arise at the same time, and the world has to unite behind them as they fight for like the dark god and the light god. The problem is though, is that nobody knows which is which, and even our characters, even at this point in the series, they don't know which is which. We don't know for sure which one is which, and so everyone thinks that they're doing the right thing, but obviously some of them aren't, and we know that some of them aren't. And so part of the fun of this series is really puzzling out like who is going to be our hero and who is going to be our villain. We have tons of grey morality in here. We have a vast cast of characters. It is very complicated in that regard, but so far I've had no issue following it. I do need to go get my notebook before I continue with this, so I keep like notes on each individual character so I know like the key points of their perspective for each book. So I need to refresh myself on those, but also continue to make them throughout the process of reading Ruin. But our main character, I would say, in this series is Corbin, and he is a young boy when we start. I think he's like 14 or something, and he is about to become a man in his society, and he's preparing for these warrior trials that make him a man. And we really spend the first book just getting to know him, getting to know his family. His father, I'm pretty sure, is the blacksmith, and his sister is like feisty and tenacious. Because of his father being a blacksmith, like their family has a prominent role in this city, and so they're quite close to the king. He knows like the princess, and it's really just about establishing us in this set in before the equilibrium is broken. So you become quite attached to Corbin, and as the series progresses, he becomes more and more embroiled in this plot as the plot is developing, and that obviously hurts because at this point, like, I am quite attached to him. I have cried so far at least once in both books in this series, and like I said, I've been warned that this one is going to ruin me. So am I ready? I don't know, but expect tears before the end of this vlog. I'm obviously not going to be able to go into too much detail on this because this is spoiler free, and I want you to experience series, especially series that I'm really enjoying, for yourself. But I'll try and give you the vibes without giving you the tea. So without further ado, I'm actually going to read a little bit of a different book before I start this, but I have to read 100 to 110 pages a day to stay on track. Aside from today, I have an appointment every day. This week, that's a lie. I have an appointment Tuesday and Wednesday and 2 on Thursday, as well as 2 big vlogs that I need to edit, as well as 5 books that I need to read. So there's like a lot going on, but not a lot going on. We'll see how it all pans out. But as today is the most chill of the days up until Friday, and by Friday I want a lot of this stuff already done. If I've not done a lot of this stuff already by Friday, then we are going to be in trouble. So I want to see like how much progress I can make today on everything, because it is like a solid start to the week, really sets up the rest of the week, you know? I unfortunately have not started Ruin yet. It's 5 p.m. as well. So I finished the other book that I was reading, which was a Shelve It or Scrap It one. So that's like 317 pages read today. So that ain't half bad. Like, I'm impressed with myself. And then I've just done like 45 minutes to an hour of editing on the vlog for last week, the Devil's vlog, which I have 2 hours and 11 minutes of footage for, which I've got to do that tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to getting through all that, but now it is dinner time. So my plan is to make dinner, which today we have HelloFresh this week. I've stopped getting HelloFresh every week, but we kind of like mix and match between doing like a regular meal plan and getting HelloFresh. So today we have the Californian style bacon and avocado sunshine salad. This one is a HelloFresh classic and one that I really enjoy. Hamilton, please stop crying. All you do is cry. And while we're eating dinner, we're going to watch an episode of You. I think we have 2 episodes left of season 5. Not my favorite season, but much better than season 4. And I hate the actress who's in season 4 and 5, because I used to watch her in Call the Midwife and I hated her in that as well. So it's really annoying the part that she's playing in season 5. Like, literally, if it was anyone but her, I could get behind it. Then I'm going to do my workout. I know I've already walked 3.5 miles today, but I'm going to do an upper body strength workout, and then I'm going to start Ruin. Okay, that's the plan. Dinner is served.
Saturday, I wanted to call, but I never know what to say. Taking pictures with my phone, distracting me from my brain. It's 2 p.m. You said just friends. The fuck happened? Yeah, I dreamed I had a million things to hold me over.
So I just made this yogurt bowl for breakfast. It is 250 grams of Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein powder, 5 strawberries quartered, and 10 grams of dark chocolate chopped into like flakes. It is so good. I will say though, my consistency, like my ratio of protein powder to yogurt was a little bit off. I should have gone with like half a scoop, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's really, really nice. I've just been for a 30-minute run. I did leg day yesterday and then I ran on top of that this morning. And I normally have in summer, I normally eat granola, but the sugar, like, it's just really, really sweet. And I don't like the mouthfeel, you know, like after you've consumed a lot of sugar. So I want kind of something that's still filling, but without the granola. And so far, this is doing the job. We'll see. So last week I was really busy, but everything was really fun. Like, I did a lot of cool stuff last week. This week I'm just busy and it's boring, honestly. I have been to my appointment for the day, which today was a hygienist appointment. I know, right? Very exciting, much good times. In fairness, I have had a new hygienist for about a year and she is great at her job and it makes the whole experience 10 times better. That is probably the best hygienist appointment I've had in my entire life. if I'm being honest. She's just like really passionate about her job and really knowledgeable, and also really good at like explaining, you know, like how when you go to the dentist they just say lots of numbers and then they tell the dental nurse and you don't have a clue what's going on. Like, she tells me what the things mean that she's shouting out and why she's like doing what she's doing when she's in my mouth, and it's a great experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend seeing my specific hygienist, although don't, because even though for my dentistry, like, I go private because I couldn't get in with an NHS dentist, it's still actually quite hard to book an appointment. So please do not take my dental hygienist appointments away from me. But I have been reading. I got to page 200 of Ruin last night, and honestly, I'm having such a good time. This is not a fast read by any means. It's not like super dense in terms of the language, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of characters. It's a pretty big world. And despite that, I am not flying through it because it is slow, but I'm absorbed when I'm reading it, which is what I've been missing recently. And so I'm really enjoying myself when I'm reading it. I actually had a look when I finished the last book that I read, and I have had 6 3-star reads in a row. That is soul destroying. Like, 3 stars are the worst for me. Like, they are not bad books, but they're not great books either. They're just books that I read, and I've had 6 in a row. So it's not even like 5 stars that I'm lacking right now. I would love a 4-star. And I feel like this is definitely going to be at least a 4-star, so I will get my wish. But I am reading other stuff alongside this, so we may find some more 3s along the way. We'll see by the end of this vlog how many 3 stars I've had in a row. But I can't tell you anything about this, which is the issue because it's book 3 in the series. I would say that nothing crucial's happened at this point. We're kind of checking in with all of the characters based on where they were at the end of the last book. And we haven't moved on too far from that at the minute because some of the characters, or the majority of them, actually are getting reacquainted in a new situation. Like, the end of book 2 was quite explosive. So we have a couple of characters who are on the run together. There are some that have formed like a war band, and they are trying to travel somewhere to, I guess, like establish a kind of resistance, and they are struggling to get there. They're also trying to meet up with another group of people, but they have no idea where they are, and they're just kind of hoping that they're all heading in the same direction. I'm lacking one of my favorite perspectives right now as well, which sucks. I can't even tell you who it is. Like, I'm not even comfortable telling you about character perspectives that are included in this series aside from Corbin, because I talk about him a lot when I like describe what the series is about, but I don't want to mention anyone because then you know that they're alive at this point if I tell you I'm enjoying their perspective. I will say that there are people who are alive who I don't want to be alive, who I wish were dead, and I feel like as we're having casualties throughout this series, so a few people died in book 2, which isn't a spoiler because like we have character perspectives that kind of sometimes appear just for the one book, and then when they serve the, well, when they die, they're obviously removed, but each character perspective is intentional, like it is relevant. So a lot of the characters in here we follow to gain perspective on a particular character who has not had a perspective yet in this series. I don't know if he will, but he is one of the prominent characters of the series, and we always see the people surrounding him as opposed to him. So we will have characters that are introduced because the last character that is observed, this main guy, have died. We also have people who are kind of creeping to the forefront that weren't super relevant in the earlier books that are now very relevant, and so they need new perspectives to observe them so that we can see what they're doing. So far, none of the new perspectives in here are blowing me away. We've had a new perspective of a kid, which I could really do without. I'm sure he will become relevant, but right now I'm like, okay, really? Although I do understand why he's relevant because of the perspective that he has provided already in the one chapter that we've had from him. And aside from that, I'm just having a good time. Like, John Gwynne reminds me a lot of Robin Hobb, and part of that is in this kind of slow, steady building of a narrative and characters that you really root for. Or on the flip side of that, actually, he also writes villains that are really easy to hate. Not quite to the level of Robin Hobb, because my god, some of the live ship traders characters, the rage that I felt reading their perspectives is unparalleled, but they are similar authors in that regard, and for that reason I find the writing almost comforting. Like, I am absorbed. I'm just happy to read in this world. I'm happy to learn more about the world. I'm happy to be revisiting some of my favorite characters and learning more about the new perspectives we've got and the areas of the world that are being opened up through these new perspectives. And every book we get a little bit more into the lore of the world, because something that I feel like I forgot to mention when I was setting us up for this book is that the history of this world is a war between giants and men, and there's been peace for a very long time. A lot of people don't even think giants exist anymore, but they do. And I don't think we really see any giants in book one. But the more you get into the series, the more the series gets magical, the more the prophecy develops, and it starts to tie into this magic and lore of the world, the more we're seeing these ancient creatures coming to light, and the giants are becoming relevant and active participants in the story. So I'm enjoying the further we get into the series, we get more and more of that. And I'm just enjoying where this book is taking me right now. I don't think I'm going to get time to read any of this today because I am going to be going out in just over an hour, I think, because it's Curtis's dad's birthday tomorrow. So we're going to go around. He's bought something for Curtis's car that they're going to like fit together. And then I think we're going out for food. So I'm hoping to be back early evening. But my main priority for the evening, because I'm kind of juggling this vlog and reading this for the book club and also finishing up Shelve It or Scrap It, which, my god, this episode has been long. So my priority for today, if I want Shelve It or Scrap It out by Sunday, which I kind of do, hopefully you'll have seen it before you see this vlog. If not, oh my days. Oh my days. I need to finish a book today and I'm only 80 pages into it, so considering I was out this morning, I'm going to work on some thumbnails and also try and send my Patreon bookmarks off to print, the ones that I'm behind on. I'm then going to be going out for the afternoon. I am not hopeful, but it has proved to be a pretty quick read so far, so fingers crossed I can make it and then I can dive back into this instead of having to play catch up and read like 200 pages tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to another day of me not being at home. This one is the worst in terms of time that I'm going to be out. I have the fun appointments though, so like the boring appointments are over. I have my nail appointment in like 5 minutes, and then this afternoon at 2 p.m. I have my hair appointment, which is long overdue. So I was gonna say I hope I can get some reading done, especially my hair appointment, but I am friends with both like my nail tech and my hairdresser, so we just gab the whole way through. The whole like 4 to 5 hours of my hair appointment will pretty much be full of gabbing, unless she has another client in between me, in which case I may get like 30 to 45 minutes of reading in while either my bleach or my toner sets. But I'm switching back over, so I did manage to finish my book yesterday. I stayed up until 1:30 a.m. to get that read. Yes, you heard me right. Yes, it was a struggle. Yes, I regret everything because I'm tired this morning. I'm sore because I ran after leg day. Who does that? What kind of monster am I? And now I'm going to be out all day, but I did manage to finish my book, so I just have 3 books left to finish this week, which we're on Thursday now, so I've got 4 days, 3 books. At least I'm making progress on Ruin though, so I've read like 2 chapters today already, and I need to get to at least page 400. Curtis is also out tonight as well. He's going to a gig in Newcastle, so after my hair appointment I'm hoping to go home, make some food and get myself settled on the couch. But I don't know if it's the same for the UK, but I know that the release day for season 2 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is today, and that was my original plan, but I have too much to read. I can't. Maybe I'll treat myself. Maybe we'll start it if it's available. I'll check when I get home. Maybe intersperse like 50 pages with an episode. It might be another late night, guys, but I've just resigned myself to it now because I haven't even started editing Shelve It or Scrap It, and I've got like hours of footage, and that's going up on Sunday. So I think I'm gonna be working this weekend quite intensely, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. You gotta, what's the other saying? You gotta roll with the punches or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna metaphor my way through this until I feel better, I guess.
You call, and now you're somewhere with someone else, and I've got nobody at all to break my fall. I told myself it'd be forever. You surprised me on my worst days. Now you're keeping me on my toes, saying you're on the way. It's 3 a.m. My brain is spent. The fuck is happening? I dreamed I had a million things to hold me over till you call, you call. And now you're somewhere with someone else, and I've got
I am so excited. I'm about to have the time of my life. My body is not ready. I'm excited. I want the tiger's cute. I want the bee, but the bee's the secret. And the cat one's cute as well. Oh, and the cow. Don't really want the rabbit. It's not one with big ears. It's like the cow or like the cat or something like that. Oh, I thought it was the rabbit then. That I didn't want. It's the ram. Oh, Breeze, not for you. Oh, look, his clips are Pooh Bear head. Good morning, my guys. I slept in quite a bit last night actually because I was up once again until 2 a.m. reading and I did not meet my reading goal last night. I did not. I have some catching up to do. We have 3 days of the week, 3 days of the vlog, and I have 3 books to read. One, I'm 80 pages in and I'm aiming to finish it today. It should be a short, quick one. And the one of them, of course, is Ruin. I am on page 300. I wanted to be on page 400 by the end of the day yesterday. So now my aim, I think, is to get to page 500 in Ruin and finish that other book, that other Shelve It or Scrap It book today. I'm feeling relatively confident because I feel like I've been doing well so far this week. 2 books are already down. I'm almost halfway through Ruin. And the last time I fell behind, I did manage to catch up. So fingers crossed that it all works out well. I'm also starting to feel the pressure a little bit because I only have 3 days left. 3 days left. I've got the entirety of Shelve It or Scrap It to edit, which I'm hoping to start today. And I still have 3 books left. I do want to talk to you a little bit about Ruin, but before that, I guess we should address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that I have no skin on my eyebrows. And honestly, I've been thinking of a way. I was like, is there a way that I can tell you about this that makes me look less of an idiot? But I can't say the dog ate my eyebrows. I can't say that I fell and landed on my eyebrows. So I had the works done yesterday. I went and I got my nails done. We have nice summery watermelon nails. And also, let me tell you, I've eaten 4 or 5 watermelons since I got back from China. So that's in about like 4 weeks. I have always been a big fan of watermelon, but I was eating watermelon every day in China and it's kind of reignited my love because I tend to eat it constantly for a couple of months and then forget about it for a year and then cycle back around. So I'm in my watermelon era right now and I just felt like I had to represent it. But anyway, I had my nails done and I have had my eyebrows done at the same place by my nail tech. My nail tech does my beauty stuff as well forever and ever. Very, very regularly. And I then went and got my hair done, had my fringe trimmed lovely and short the way that I like it. So you can really see my eyebrows. And then I went back and I had my eyebrows waxed because she didn't have time to do it during my nail appointment. And I forgot that I've been using retinol on my face. And if you guys don't know, retinol thins your skin, which I've definitely been told this in the past. I've definitely known this in the past. Completely forgot. So when she asked me if I've changed my skincare at all, I was like, no, because I do use retinol on and off and have used it on and off for a while. It's just never affected my waxes. So I don't know whether, because sometimes I run out of my skincare and I'll go, especially if it's my Ordinary stuff, because my retinol is from the Ordinary, I'll go a while unless I need to replace something like my sleep mask or my daily moisturizer or my face wash that I can't live without. I'll just go without my retinol. So maybe it's just coincidentally lined up that I haven't had a wax when I've been very, very recently using retinol. But I did use retinol on Wednesday night and I did get my eyebrows waxed yesterday and it has taken the top layer of skin off my face. It's really sore. It's really, really sore. I was looking up online what to do and a lot of people are like, put on topical ointments, put on antibacterial cream, medical grade honey, 100% aloe vera gel, burns with the fire of 1,000 suns. So I tried the aloe vera, hurt too much, tried honey, hurt too much, to the point where I was like panicking about like, am I hurting my face? And then eventually after I'd let it settle for a couple of hours, I went for the good old Germaline. My mum used to swear by Germaline. No matter what was wrong with you, you put Germaline on and some talc over the top so it's not sticky. I didn't put talc on my eyebrows. I thought that would look a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, I went with the Germaline because I was like, I know that this isn't bad for a wound. I know that this is what you're supposed to put on a wound and it does actually make it feel a little bit better. It stings and burns for like a minute and then it kind of eases off. Yeah, to double the embarrassment as well, I'm not going outside today, not in daylight. I'll get my 8,000 to 10,000 steps in when the sun has set, thank you very much. But yeah, to top it off, I'm currently working on 2 vlogs. So not only do I have to admit to my stupidity here, I have to do it in a different vlog as well, because I think it looks pretty obvious and I can't put makeup on top of it so that you can't see. And while I can Photoshop my thumbnails, thank the Lord, I cannot Photoshop my video. I mean, I'm sure there is a way to do it. I have no idea how. So yeah, there we go. That's what we're living with. But oh, Ruin, I did say I was going to tell you about that. I've given content warnings for this before in the past, but I just want to give you an updated one for sad animal things in John Gwynne books. So in the past, it's been things like horses killed in battle, hunting dogs killed, not like hunting related accidents, more like wildlife related things like predators killing other animals and that kind of vibe. Survival elements like killing things like hunting dogs to be able to survive because they are hunting and attacking the characters. This one has ramped it up a little bit. It's still nothing like, I want to say it's nothing cruel in terms of nobody is going out of their way to intentionally be mean to like a dog. But there is a lot of like animal death in this one and in some like different contexts. So I think like the worst instance of it in here is like animal fighting, like intentional animal fighting, like pitting two animals against each other and betting on the outcome. The reason why I'm not really classing that as cruelty is because it's children that are doing it, which is a little bit disturbed, but like, I don't know, like it feels very much in context for the thing, but it is very uncomfortable. That only happened once so far. And there's like a lot of other animals, like there's been a lot of like dog and wolf related kind of things going on. So content warnings for that. I don't think that John Gwynne ever presents animal cruelty in a way that is like overly gratuitous, but it reminds me of Game of Thrones in that like if a horse dies in battle, a horse dies in battle. It's kind of like relevant to the imagined time period that this is set in and the kind of context of the world, but it is like not great as well, you know, if you don't like to read that kind of thing, which I don't. So aside from that, I'm really enjoying it. This is a lot of people's favorite book in the series, and like so far I don't think I'm enjoying it any more than I've enjoyed any book in the series. I think this is like a man book in terms of the perspectives we're getting. We're getting a lot of like the grizzly warrior types, both the good ones and like the ones that we don't like, which is fine because I do like some of them. I think one of my favorite characters falls into that category. One is a warrior, but he's like a younger one. But I feel like this is for the old guard. This is a book for the old guard. And so it has like a certain tone to it. We've had like some romantic developments that I really liked. But yeah, we'll see what the rest of the book brings. I'm going to try and read a good portion of it now, get some editing done, and then cycle between reading and editing for the rest of the day. So I'm heading out in the garden to get some reading done. I'm also going to film a little reel clip for a reel that I may or may not ever edit, because that seems to be my norm these days. But I've just got off sprints with my patrons and I am going to be working down to the wire, guys. It's just kind of hit me. I have 24 and a half hours until my Shelve It or Scrap It video has to go up, and 27 and a half hours until the live show for Ruin. So I have an entire book to read for Shelve It or Scrap It. I didn't manage to finish my other one last night. I ended up with 80 pages left. I was falling asleep like literally in my Kindle. So I only finished this one this morning, and then I have to read the entirety of this today. That's non-negotiable. And I have like 325 pages of this left. So it is crisis time. The sirens are going off. It is a red alert. Am I going to do this? We'll find out together. So it's 11:02 p.m. and I am on the verge of an NTB. I have given up on trying to get Shelve It or Scrap It up for tomorrow. I have 2 hours left of The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, which, to be fair, I've made it pretty much halfway since 6 p.m. and I've also edited so much of Shelf It or Scrap It. It's such a long video. I have had like, I had some raw footage that ended up not really being part of it. Like it was stuff that I'd accidentally imported in. So I think in total, I have had 3 hours and 20 minutes of raw footage. And I'm now at the point where I have 29 minutes left to edit and I haven't finished. I still have at least one more clip on the boyfriend that I'd probably film, plus my final thoughts on the boyfriend and my wrap up of the entire episode. And I also have 330 pages of Ruin to read for 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's 11 p.m. now. And that is not a quick read. And I was like, by the time I go to bed tonight, if I finish, like listen to 2 hours of this audiobook, that'll take me to 1 a.m. I have at least an hour of editing to do on the footage I already have, not to mention filming the rest of the footage, editing the intro, because I like refresh the intro for every episode of Shelf It or Scrap It. So just doing that, I am looking at 3 to 4 a.m. going to bed and then getting up and having to read 330 pages of Ruin tomorrow. I was like, I don't think it's possible. I have to admit defeat here. And so I have, and I hate it. And I know it's fine. I'm filling the gap with sprints tomorrow. So I'm going to do public sprints, which I do try to do monthly anyway, but I've been so behind since March that I just haven't managed it. So we'll do sprints tomorrow and then I'll have a 3 video week next week where I'll upload a video on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday and it will all be fine. But I've really bitten off more than I can chew here. I'm so guilty of pulling it out of the bag like last minute. Like I can procrastinate, but when it actually comes down to having to do something, I normally have it in the bag. And this time I was really ambitious. The reason why this has happened is, one, because I'm still recovering from China in terms of trying to catch up. I'm still woefully behind. But as well as that, I did the romantasy rundown and that set me back on my reading. It put me under pressure before and after I went to China. So kind of like extended the period that I was behind, and this is the result. So it's fine. I was going to take Monday off and do nothing because I knew that I would be down to the wire, and what's actually happened now is that I'm down to the wire anyway, and I'm going to finish the editing of Shelf It or Scrap It on Monday at least. I don't have much left because of how like much I've hustled this weekend, and I know that I definitely need to work Tuesday, so maybe I'll have Wednesday off, I don't know. But I needed to accept defeat, which again, it's fine, and I've made the right decision. I know that I have, but it's still frustrating, you know. The thing is, it's like it's 11 p.m. now, which is a nice normal bedtime for me. I've been up until 2 a.m. reading every night and since I think Wednesday. I've really hustled hard for this episode. I can't just go to sleep because I could do with reading a little bit of Ruin tonight. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and as long as I make it for the live show of Ruin, it's fine. Everything will be fine.
Break me down, I'll let you just do anything. I thought you're not too far gone, when I know that you'll never change. I dreamed I had a million things to hold me over to.
I have just finished up sprints with my patrons. You will all be happy to know that I am in a much better mood than I was yesterday, the last time I spoke to you. I essentially hate making decisions, and once I've made the decision and come to terms with the decision, I'm absolutely fine. The reason why I mean, shit happens, okay? Videos get postponed. It's literally not the end of the world, and I know that. The reason why I was upset is because I hustled so hard to get that video out today, and then I quit at like the very last minute at 11 p.m, which is fair because that was the moment where I had to be realistic and was like, I can't do this. But then I was annoyed because of how much effort I'd put in to have it done today, and then it didn't happen. But I had a really nice sprint session. It's a public sprint session, so you can go ahead and watch it. And I also read a ton of my book. I still got a ways to go. I've got 4 hours until the live show. I have got 118 pages left, so I started today with just under 300. I had like 295 pages left. So I've read like 210. No, that's not right. 180 pages today, and this shit is starting to hit the fan. I am not only incredibly nervous and anxious, every other chapter I'm incredibly nervous and anxious, and then all of the ones in between I'm like rooting for everyone to do the damn thing. We have accomplished some things we have been trying to accomplish for a while. We are laying down some foes that have been present for a long time. There are things happening that I've been waiting to happen for multiple books. Like one of my favorite characters, the reason why I love him so much is because he has so much potential because of his personality and the situation that he's in. He could go either way. Like, there's so many factors influencing him, and I didn't know that when it came down to it, I didn't know which way he was going to go. We finally got the resolution of that in this, where we find out which direction he's headed in. I'm having a great time, guys. So I know that this book has a particularly dynamic ending, and I'm a little bit scared, but I'm also like really, really invested. So I am pretty much, I mean, I only have 4 hours till the live show, and my dream scenario right now is that I have enough time after I finish the book to watch at least one episode of The Secret Lives of Mom and Wives. So I'm going to go get myself settled on the couch. I don't know whether I'm going to be in here or in the living room, probably in here, and see how long it takes me to get through the last 120 pages. You know what? I'm anticipating it's still going to be 2 to 3 hours if I'm being honest. So Mom and Wives may be a distant dream, but we can only hope. What the fuck? I am reserving my full thoughts on Ruin until after the live show because I finished it with literally 30 minutes to spare, and I feel like I need some time to process. I have made an alcoholic beverage about it though. That's how well it went. It was good. It was really good. I thought the whole end of the book was dynamic. The end definitely obviously made me feel some type of way. But everything leading up to that, we had a lot of things come into fruition that I was waiting for a really long time, as well as just very dynamic cinematic scenes throughout the last 150 pages. Something that I have felt is missing from John Gwynne up until this point is plot twists. I'm pretty sure I said that in the live show for Valor, I think is book 2. I have been waiting for plot twists. Like, so far it has had everything that I typically enjoy. I like the writing, I like the politics, we have a grander plot at stake, we have characters we can root for that we're attached to. The only thing that I really felt was missing from this series was plot twists, and this book delivered them in spades. I'm a little bit shocked, I can't lie. Some of the reveals that we got in this one I definitely did not see coming, and I'm really interested to see how they develop in book 4. If my heart can take picking up book 4, I'm a little bit scared. I kind of don't want to continue. It has the kind of ending where you want to pick up the next book immediately, like you need to, and I need to. I can't because the live show for the final Wheel of Time book is the 8th of June, so I have like 3 weeks to read it, and it's 1,000 pages, as well as like all of the other stuff that I'm reading, so I can't just like slip in Wrath and then expect to remember it for a live show in July. But it has the kind of ending where you kind of like need to figure out what's going on, but at the same time I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue. I'm sick of John Gwynne hurting me now. I said, I'm pretty sure it was when I was talking about Valor in the vlog that I did for that the problem with books like this, and when you're rooting for characters and when we're obviously rooting for the side of good, we're rooting for the underdogs, and they take a lot of hits. Like the bad guys are always winning until they're not anymore, but that tends to come right at the end when we're pushed back, we're on our back foot, and we have to take one final stand. And at this point now, I mean, we did have some wins in this book, but I need the wins to like start coming. Like, we have been pushed way too far to the back foot. We are teetering on the end of a cliff right now, and I thought we were getting somewhere. And I just need some solid wins for the good guys. Obviously, that's going to come like at the end of the series, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I would have liked to see some of it in this book, because bad things have been happening since the beginning, but this one hurt a lot. And not just like that very end point. The chapter before that was also kind of painful, especially after the wins that we did have towards the end of this book. But there is a little rogue dynamic that the main characters don't know about yet that I do. And I'm very excited to see that turn up and develop in the last book. I did say I was saving my final thoughts until after the live show, and I've just given you a bunch, but I'll be back a little bit later to give you my final thoughts, not just like my gut reaction thoughts, before I wrap up this vlog. I have a problem in that I cannot remember anymore what I told you the last time that we spoke, because of course we got carried away after the live show. Of course we stayed and chatted for like over an hour, and then I went straight to bed, and then I got up Monday morning and I was grinding to get that episode of Shelf It or Scrap It out, which literally I have just scheduled, and then I filmed and edited another entire video today. Is this the week that I get back on track from going to China? It's doubtful, honestly, it's doubtful, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I don't have anything on this week until Sunday, which is great, not a single appointment. So I'm very sorry if I repeat myself anyway while I talk to you guys about Ruin by John Gwynne. So one of the reasons why I wanted to wait until after the live show to talk to you guys is, one, to consolidate my thoughts, but also my reaction when I first finish a book is very instinctual. You'll find this a lot, especially with Shelve It or Scrap It, because I'm normally eager to move on to the next book. As soon as I finish the book, I give you my immediate thoughts. And there's two books that I've read in that episode of Shelve It or Scrap It that I've just edited that I feel slightly different about. Now I've had a little bit of distance from them, and I do feel a little bit different about Ruin than I did when I immediately finished it and I was like a hot sobbing mess. I think that this one, because I don't know if I told you what I rated it, but it's like just a 5-star in my spreadsheet, which is what I gave book 2. Valor. And I feel in my gut like it feels like a 4.5 to a 5. I do typically round up. I actually think it's like a very solid 4, like a solid 4.5, because throughout the bulk of this book I did not feel any differently towards it than I did the rest of the books in the series. The last 100 pages of this were phenomenal. We had plot twists left, right and center, things that I absolutely did not see coming, and things that are ultimately going to irreparably alter the trajectory of this series going forward into the last book. And I loved that, but that is something that we've had to kind of like wait 3 books for. And the first 3/4 of this book were same old. And then right at the end, we end on such an emotional point that your gut instinct, my gut instinct when something impacts me so emotionally, is to give it 5 stars. And I, on reflection, after a couple of days, after discussing with everybody and their thoughts on this book, I do feel like it's more like a 4 or 4.5, which is absolutely fine. It was still a great book and I still really loved it. I still continue to really love John Gwynne's character work. I think because I'm so familiar with fantasy series that are quite similar to this, like tonally and atmospherically, I find this so comforting to read and to sink. Why do you have to ride backwards and forwards? Literally get a hobby. I don't even know if you guys can hear that because I have like my clip-on mic on, but that was a motorbike that went up and down the road, which was just rude. Like, pick away, guy. Pick away. But I don't even remember what I was saying anymore. That's great. Oh, it's so nice to sink into a book that I really enjoy, especially like book 3 in the series, with characters that I really enjoy and I'm super familiar with, and just kind of sit with it for 700 pages and keep revisiting it and building upon it. And I love that. This is why I love like a long book as opposed to a short story, because I want to really be in the world and soak in the world, you know? And John Gwynne definitely provides that. I do still stand by the Faithful and the Fallen at this point, 3 books in, is a very, very solid high epic fantasy series. Not one of my ultimate favorites. It is definitely one that I would recommend and that I would recommend that high fantasy readers pick up, especially if you do love that epic scale plot and a big cast of characters that you actually do become attached to and you root for, with some politics and also a lot of action as well. But if you told me to list my ultimate favorites, I mean, if you asked me for my top 5, it may end up in there because I've read not all of them. I haven't read all of the high fantasy hits is the thing. But the ones that I have read, I've read in their entirety. One of the reasons why I haven't read, one of the main reasons actually that I haven't read like the Gentleman Bastard series or The Name of the Wind, is because I try to commit to a series and finish it before I start a new one. So if you ask me for my top 5, it might be in there because I really like it and I haven't read that many. But if you ask me like my ultimate favorite epic fantasy series so far, this isn't on there. But I do highly recommend it and it is definitely a strong one. So that brings us to the end of this vlog because realistically it's now Tuesday and it should have ended on Sunday. I have now finished that episode of Shelve It or Scrap It. So the next thing that I'm going into is going to be another casual weekly reading vlog. I hope you've been enjoying these guys because I've been really enjoying getting back into the format of a more casual vlog where we have a little bit of a chat instead of just like solely focusing on the books. Speaking of though, next week or this week, I guess, I am going to be trying to catch up with all of those Patreon reads that I haven't, because May is ideally my month of catch up. So that is my Patreon book club books and all of my Patreon picks as well. And we will just see what I get through before I dive into yet another episode of Shelve It or Scrap It. But I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this vlog if you've made it this far. I've been like so all over the place this week, like just locked in, and this is why I actually don't like to vlog when I'm working, because when I'm working like filming and editing or like really locked into editing, literally there's nothing going on up here apart from editing, and it does not make for an entertaining vlog. But I do hope that you have enjoyed it regardless. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.